Yo, and welcome back to a new video. I'm wearing sunglasses inside, but that is purely because I lost my regular glasses and my eyes were getting really dry. But coincidence has it though that today we're going to be working on sort of a spotlight or flashlight effect. Over here, we can see that when I'm moving my mouse over this image, there's almost this like spotlight going around, which is a WebGL effect, but we're not going to be writing any WebGL or 3JS code for this. We're going to be using a no-code tool called Unicorn Studio. So if we actually have a look at their homepage, it's called a design tool for WebGL magic, where without writing any code, you can create these super cool shader effects within minutes. Like this video is probably going to be super short because the effect is really, really simple to implement. If you haven't heard of this, I highly recommend checking out this tool, especially over here in the hero section. They link to like an inspiration gallery, what you can explore. And like you can make some really cool stuff. Now we're going to be making something that is going to be applicable to, upload on a website, maybe in like a background of a hero section, for example. But you can perfectly use this tool to create cool visuals and export them as videos or images as well, and use them outside of the web industry as well. Even though that's not the first thing that you think of, right, when thinking of WebGL. So if we're going to hop into the editor, I've already made a new scene. Which is just the default thing you see when you make a new project. And it has nothing else but a 1440 by 900 artboard basically over here. And we're going to be adding two things to it. So the first thing is going to be an image. And for this image, I've already uploaded sort of this cool car image, which I found on Arcade, which is a cool stock library. And I'm just, with this image selected, I'm going to toggle the fit to artboard, which is perfectly going to, basically set it to object fit cover of my scene over here. And there is some things that I could play around with, but I don't want that. And then we're going to click this star icon over here on the right. And this is opening up all of the effects that Unicorn Studio has. And there is some really cool stuff inside of here. I warn you, once you get into this, it's going to be a bit of a rabbit hole exploring everything. But we're going to be looking today for the point light post-processing effect. Once we add it, the default over here has this sort of pink tint to it, and nothing happens as I move my mouse, so we are going to make a few tweaks. First thing that I'm going to do is, personally, I want a white point light, and I want the tracking of my mouse to be set to 100, so that when I move my mouse over the screen, we see that we already basically have like a large part of the effect going on, right? But we can tweak it a bit more. For example, I'm going to add a little bit of momentum to my mouse, so that it has this very smooth, not really a delay, but it just feels much smoother when I'm moving around my mouse, and it doesn't feel as direct and snappy. Now, depending on the effect that you want to go for, you could like add some spring to it, which makes it like really jittery. But since we're having this really cool and clean background image of a car, which feels very classy, I don't feel like it fits the effect. And then right over here on the top, we can tweak some parameters for the scale, intensity, and ambience. So if you just, obviously the scale is going to set the size of my spotlight. I think I rather like that 50, not too small, not too large, maybe even a bit smaller. We can set its intensity, right? As you can see now, my intensity makes a really strong spotlight, which, given how dark the image is, I think it looks quite cool. And now a really nice parameter in this one is I can change the ambience, and meaning that if I turn this all the way down, my image is going to be hidden on default. And then as I move my mouse, only then the image is going to be revealed. So imagine like you're making a landing page for some product that is coming soon, or, something that is actively being worked on as a teaser. I feel like this effect could be really cool. Maybe this is in the hero section behind your website. I can already see that really being a thing. I'm going to set it to 50 though. I want something to be visible, and then just like a subtle extra touch as I'm moving around. And then the specular, with this tooltip, it tells me that it controls the intensity of the specular highlight. So if I turn this all the way up, we can see that it has a glare to it, like almost like a fixed gradient moving with it, and it already also highlights my background, which I don't like. I only like it to touch my subject and not do anything with the black background. So I might even turn that down even further to 20. So now it only touches my subject, and I don't see like this obvious gray gradient almost on the black background. And I kind of like this already. Now, today I'm going for a cursor effect, but Unicorn Studio also has a bunch of events where you can control how stuff happens when it appears when scrolling into the site. Scroll effects, hover, and obviously you can do some more stuff on mouse move. They have this timeline. Topic for a whole other video. I don't want to get into it. Today's video is going to be nice and quick on how easy it is to implement this. So with this, I'm super happy. I would like to have this on my website. So I'm going to click export, and then I'm going to head to embed. And then the first thing that I'm going to have to do is publish my scene. Now, as you can see over here, there is a whole bunch of options where I can copy it to Framer, Webflow, Figma sites, React, HTML, and LLM instructions, as well as I can download the project's JSON file. I can toggle on production, and I also get some performance insights on this project. For example, right now I see that this scene has a very light weight. So it's a very simple effect. It doesn't have too many shaders. It doesn't do too much post-processing. It's not too heavy on the browser. So even if I hover it, it's going to tell me that typically very smooth across nearly all devices, which I think is a really good thing, obviously, because I don't want my website to become super laggy when implementing such an effect. Gives me a cost score, an estimated score of how much effort the scene will require to render, roughly on a scale of 1 to 100, and lower is better. So an 11 out of 100, I'd say, is a really, really good score. And then I think this is a BE is supposed to be beta. And it's going to tell me that I can merge consecutive layers into single pass shaders for better performance. I'm not a WebGL dev. I don't know what half of that means, so I'm just going to leave that off. And, we could have the option to preview and optimize even further, but with a very lightweight, I am super happy. Now, to quickly show how to get this into Webflow, one option would be to click to copy to Webflow. What this does is that it copies a code embed to my clipboard, and then the code embed, I can throw on the site, and it would dynamically generate the elements. But I personally like to have a little bit more control, and for that we would need to download the JSON file. Now, I've already done that. So right over here, you can see on my desktop file, I call it the Osmo Unicorn Spotlight.json file. And as we can see, it's a 15 kilobyte file. And this is the one that I need to host somewhere. There's two options. Personally, I really like Bunny CDN. I've got a bunch of videos on my channel about how to use it for video hosting, but it's a CDN, so you can host any type of file there. And I've also uploaded it right over there. So if I'm going to head to this Webflow project that I got going on over here, we can see that I have this div, which I gave a class of Spotlight Cursor Wrap. And it simply has a width and height of 100% of its parent section, which simply has a 100 VH height. And on this div, I've added a couple of data attributes. One is the data US Unicorn Studio project source. And right over here, we can see the asset link on my Osmo Bunny CDN, and it directly points to the JSON file. I've added a data unicorn scale attribute, DPI for the resolution, lazy load of set to false since it's in my hero section. And I want to disable this on mobile, since obviously on mobile there is no cursor, so we can save a bit on post-processing over there. Now, so I'm not going to go over the Bunny hosting in this video, since that's not the whole topic, but there is a way to host these files natively on Webflow, right? So if I take that file that I got over here and I try to drag it into the asset manager, it's going to tell me that the JSON file is not a Lottie animation. The only type of JSONs that Webflow supports is a Lottie file, which this obviously isn't. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to rename, and I'm going to add the .txt at the end of this file, just make it into a text file, and then I can drag it into the asset manager. Now if I do the three dots and I click copy link right over here, I could also add this link over here in the project source file. Now, the only other prep work that we need for this to work is in my page settings, I've gone ahead and linked to the CDN link over here of the Unicorn Studio library. And then there is this really simple script to initialize the Unicorn Studio. And all of this stuff can be found in their embed guide over here. I'll put a link to this in the description. It also gives you like an overview of all the SDK parameters, of which I've implemented a few, with the data attributes. But now if we actually publish this, and then we check out the live website over here, we can see that my scene renders, and we've got this, spotlight effect implemented on the website itself. And that's basically pretty much it. Now this is a really simple effect, of course. Like you saw that I had this done in 2 seconds. Now you can stack some of these effects on top of each other. And you just have to be mindful of performance, for which the performance overview when going to the embed section is really helpful. But if you're curious about a bit more Unicorn Studio content, definitely let me know, because, again, this was simple. We can do much more crazy stuff with it, and I'd be happy to make some more content around it. I'll put also a link to everything that I've mentioned today in this video description. If you're an Osmo member, there is going to be a resource from this one where you can get the remix link from us with all of the code implemented as well. And if you're not, I'll hope to see you in next week's video. Cheers.